someone you went to a rabbi, but there was also another religious figure that you ran into that it was very surprising to me, and you kept his real name. So who is this
Well, how can
mystery person
he's
who
a
you
public
turned in?
figure. Okay, so Joel Osteen was, I know it's so strange.
It was this was the most surprising part of the book for me.
Yeah.
I know it's very strange, but I took tremendous comfort in Joel Osteen's sermons.
You're not the first person to say that. People who I know, which really shocked me. But
Well, I think for me, it's because it really did happen the way it does in the book, which was I was in my car listening to satellite radio. I stumbled upon this station and it said, like, stay tuned and Joel will be back with another heartfelt message for you, something like that. And I literally, I had like a heart attack in my car. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting for Joel to come. I thought it was my husband with a message for me. And I thought, of course, he's going to come through on the radio. Like, it's Joel, it's music, it's right. And they start playing. Joel Osteen has a rhythm to his, he always starts with something funny. And then he does this whole thing about, like, hold up your Bible, say it like you believe it. And I was so confused because I was like, this isn't Joel. Again, I was so deep in my grief that anything that could have been a sign, I ran with it. So this to me was like the biggest sign here. Like, here comes my husband, Joel. And I was like, okay, it doesn't sound like him. He's talking about a Bible. It's not really his funniest thing, but I think it's him. And then I realized, I looked at my dashboard, which had been black. It had been completely black and blank, like almost like the car had died or something. And then out of nowhere, I see it's Joel Osteen and his picture and his phone number, which is the same phone number as my Joel. You know, the last, it's like 555 Joel is I don't know if you knew that, Dave, when you would call Joel, but
Right?
so I had to keep listening. And I liked him. I liked Joel Osteen. I was like, oh, he's funny and he's cute and he's got like a twinkle in his eyes. And my Joel had a twinkle in his eyes. And they both have dark hair and they have the same initials and the same phone number. And I was just completely won over. And his sermons really spoke to me somehow. They helped me in my darkest time somehow. And I know it's weird and I still love him. And I know he's controversial, but in terms of like helping me manage my grief, that was enough for me.
you say it's weird because it's weird to you for people who know you, or you just think it's weird?
Well, because I'm Jewish-ish.
Yeah.
And I'm not particularly religious. And to that end, I don't look at Joel Osteen, even though he's an evangelical preacher. To me, it's not like he's religious. I'm not looking at him as a religious outlet. I'm looking at him as more of an inspirational guide. And so I think it may or may not be something that people kind of like, oh, that's weird. You know, I think my rabbi will think it's strange.